Hey, Glenn here. Welcome to this video. Again, looking at Freeze the Fall and their latest song, Hypothermia. Now, I have to just give a little disclaimer at the beginning of this because this video was intended to be a blind reaction. And I've got to say, this is really hard to do because when I discover new music that I'm really into, I want to just like eat, drink, breathe and sleep it. And I've made a conscious decision, at least for the moment, not to do that, or at least to try not to do that with Freeze the Fall. I'm trying to leave enough content there that I can do blind reactions to. It's something that I want to be really genuine about. I don't want to do a reaction and it not really be a blind reaction to something that I've actually listened to before. So anybody who's been following me for a little amount of time, because I haven't been doing these types of videos for very long, you'll know that typically, at least up to now, I've been doing analysis videos, which in my mind is a very clear distinction. An analysis is something where you're looking at it, you're breaking it down, and you're talking about the various elements that you're perhaps already aware of. And that's not to say you can't do that in a reaction, but I'm all about being transparent and upfront, and I certainly don't want to give the impression that this is a blind reaction when it's not. Now, the reason it isn't is because I've already listened to this song. I've already done a reaction video to it. And unfortunately, the audio wasn't there. The audio was there for the song. The audio wasn't there for my microphone. So I had no choice but to do it again. So this video is kind of predominantly an analysis video, as I say, because I've listened to the song already and watched the video, but also, I guess, kind of a reaction, because I've only watched the video once and listened to the song once. Again, I've made that conscious decision because I knew I was going to do the video again, so I wanted to get as much of a kind of a fresh response to it as at all possible. So, without further ado, I appreciate you listening to that little explanation. A little disclaimer there. Let's get into now watching and listening to the video for Hypothermia by Freeze the Fall.
I drape the cloth over my eyes.
Okay, just before we do get into it properly, I do want to say right from the off, I absolutely love this whole vibe that's going on here. This kind of an ancient sort of Nordic sort of a vibe. Really loving that. I don't know if this is kind of maybe part of some broader theme, because I'm very new to this band, very new to their songs. So I don't know if this is kind of a series, maybe part of, or leading up to a series. I don't know, because it does almost seem to be setting like a scene for like a story, which I guess can be self-contained within just this video, of course, but I just wondered, maybe it is part of something broader. Either way, it's cool. I love that little intro there where you've got the book being opened up, almost like revealing, I don't know, revealing a secret or revealing a story, perhaps. Love the whole vibe. The guys there all dressed in appropriate gear for being out there in the cold. Hopefully they didn't suffer from hypothermia itself when they filmed this, because it does look very chilly out there. I love those drums with like that tree trunk design. They're so cool. Let's get into listening a bit further. Love the sound of that bass, it's so cool. I'm loving these harmonies as well. Fantastic close harmonies there. There's some really cool things going on there that I've just got to draw attention to that you might not notice unless you've got a good stereo separation where you're listening, or unless you're wearing headphones. So really cool things on the vocals. So let me just go back a little bit, see if I can just find where that is. I think it's around about here. Okay, so it's a little bit further along in the actual chorus. Okay, so up to that point, what you have, again, might be something that most people don't know, but when you have what's called a stereo picture in a song, typically, of course, there are going to be exceptions, and of course, there'll be variations according to what sort of effect the band and the production team are going for. But you would typically have the lead vocal in the centre, and like in the case here, you'd typically have one on the left, one on the right, and as I say, the lead vocal in the centre. Or if it's a case of just two voices but singing maybe multiple parts even, you'd have those backing voices either side. So you've got that stereo picture, and of course that's what we have up to this point. But again, as I said, if you're listening on headphones, or if you've got a good stereo separation in front of you where your speakers are, see if you can just pick up on what we hear at this next bit. So I don't know if you noticed that. We actually have one line on the left channel, one line on the right channel. I don't think they were completely like over on the extreme left and extreme right, fully panned over, but significantly enough so that I can hear it. One line on the left, one line on the right, and then one in the middle. That's a really cool effect. So just come back there again. So cool. And then here now, a similar thing, but that vocal there went and panned across, as almost gives like a kind of a sweeping sort of a sensation as it's just gently going from the left to the right. Again, just give you the opportunity to listen to that again, that little bit. And it's really, really effective to listen in headphones. I often say this, when you're listening on headphones, some of those little subtle effects are really, really obvious. And it's almost like with that vocal, it's like you almost feel it like passing through from left to right and back again. It's really, really cool. We're certainly seeing a theme here as well during the course of the story, as it were. So if you've noticed there, if you're listening to the lyrics and looking at what's happening on the screen, you notice you've got the word lies. It's appeared, I think we saw it written down somewhere, and then you're seeing it kind of appearing on the faces, so almost like scratched in. And yeah, very kind of powerful messaging. I'll be honest, I don't really have any insights as to what the song's actually trying to say. I'm kind of getting the vibe that it's almost like a song about maybe inner conflict, maybe when you're feeling a particular struggle, or you're going through some particular chapter of your life and you've got external influences trying to make you feel or believe a certain thing. I mean, this could be interpreted any number of ways, and that's one of both the tricky aspects and one of the beauties of songs, of lyrics particularly, that what the songwriter's trying to say and what the inspiration behind a song actually isn't always what is actually portrayed, what actually comes out. So it's certainly the case of a music video. And it's not always, in fact, it's almost always the case that those songs then can be interpreted in a variety of ways by the listener. And, you know, that's just all great. It's one of the fantastic things about songs, in that we can get whatever we need to get from a song. And, you know, I look at these, all songs really, from the perspective of someone who writes, someone who does write lyrics. And I'm always trying to kind of tap into the thought and the motivation behind a song, trying to really work out what that song's saying. And again, as I said, in the case of a music video, trying to see if how the video is being portrayed is a true reflection of what the song lyrics are actually saying. Most cases, I think the two do kind of marry up. It has to be said, though, not always. And there, again, can be a number of reasons for that. But in this case, that kind of conveyance of the idea of cold, feeling cold, could be to do with that coldness you feel going through whatever it is that you're going through, or the coldness of the external influence you're receiving from other people, trying to process whatever's happening, whatever's going on through our minds. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe the band has talked about what this song's about. I don't know. Maybe other people have their insights, their thoughts as to what this is about. Yeah, let's carry on anyway. Loving those layers there as well, the layers of those backing vocals there, quite subtle, really powerful. Such a good song. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And that little voice at the end there, I still couldn't quite catch what's said right at the end. It's just as it was trailing off. The first time I listened, I couldn't get that either. So I'll have to see if that's... maybe somebody will leave that in the comments if they know what that is, or maybe it is actually in the lyrics. I have looked through the lyrics, but I don't recall if that little bit's included. But yeah, I mean, it's just such a good song. I love everything about that. I love the video. I love the mix. I love the vocal delivery. The harmonies are so good. The tone of the drums, the tone of the bass, everything. Just love everything. It's such a good song. And yeah, I can just see this being yet another band that I end up sticking on in the car, and it being like my go-to listen for perhaps weeks on end. That happens when I get a good album that I really like. Of course, they've not got the full album yet, but when they do, that's something I can see happening. So yeah, there we have Hypothermia. Just reinforces what I've already discovered from Freeze the Fall. It's a band I'm still not very familiar with, but it's just the second song I've heard, and I've loved both the songs I've heard. The first one I heard was One Left Standing. If you want to check out the blind reaction I did to that, you can check that out. And yeah, Hypothermia. Now, just great song. Love it. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this half analysis, half reaction. Please don't forget to give it a like. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and get all the relevant notifications. Also share this video. It helps me, helps the band, helps get the word out there. And this band, you know, it's only going to go on to bigger and better things, I'm absolutely sure. But the more we can share their stuff, the better. So that would be really helpful if you could do that. And leave a comment. Let me know what else you'd like me to take a look at. More stuff from Freeze the Fall, stuff from other bands, songs, whatever. Let me know. So with that said, we'll leave that there, and I will see you on the next one.